Jerry Visca, the publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the Difference Makers issue. And we are live with Brittany Burtz of California in probably one of the most explosive interviews that I've done in my career with Defyeneurs. I'm really, really honored to have Brittany in this explosive and epic global issue where we have difference makers worldwide. And this is one live interview I've been looking forward to. Welcome, Brittany.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Brittany, it's so nice to have you back. We had an explosive time with you and the top 50 relationship marketing tips that just went on to impact just so many extraordinary people. And as I continue to admire the work that you're doing and the global work you're stepping into, I'm really, really excited about this profile. And I'm really excited about this new book that you are starting to work towards and will be releasing shortly. So I want to kick it off with listeners with a quote that you share, which is really something that I really admire. And it goes like this: "It was the overwhelming sense of love that I felt for every person and living thing that let me know that I must make a difference." And there's no question, Brittany, that you are truly making a difference in not only your own life, but I believe that you're just now stepping into the most explosive and energetic time of your life that you've ever unleashed. So just share with us what led you to want to make a difference.
Wow. Well, many things, and I think that ever since I can remember just being really young, I always cared so much about animals and plants and people, and it stemmed from that. I mean, just really having that overwhelming sense of love and care, and really taking that with me as I got older, and realizing that, you know what, I'm here to do something. I'm here to add value in some way, but how? But how do I do that? And so many questions would race through my mind all the time, and I would stay up late at night thinking, but me, like, how could little old me make a difference in people's lives? I know there's something I can do. There's something I want to do. I have this love, I have this care, I have this passion for people and making people feel seen and feel loved, and just as I love to feel that way myself. And I just would always try and brainstorm different ways of how I could do that. So I think it really stemmed from that and from years of brainstorming and searching and asking those questions.
I love that. Brittany, I love that you know who you are and how enlightened you've become at, such a great age, such a young age. And I can only imagine how your life can continue to unfold with so much beauty and just so much purpose. So I want to get right into this. I want to get right into this book. This is your first book that you're working towards, and I just love this way of being with Brittany Burtz. And I'm truly excited to share with listeners. This is the first time where listeners can really start to get a sense of your journey, and you're right into it in this way of being that seems to resonate with an energy of believing and beginning. Maybe share with us a bit of your excitement for this book and the outcome of this book on the world.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. I feel so much passion and purpose behind this book and what it will bring to every reader that, has the opportunity to read it. I know how books have impacted my life ever since I can remember the ability to start reading. My shelves are filled with book after book after book, and as the years progressed, I would read as many books as I could in a given month and just have stacks next to my bed, knowing that the more books that I read, the more that I filled myself, that I would grow to the next level. I would grow my vibration. I would grow my ability to impact other people. I would start learning more about myself the more books that I read and had those stacked up next to my bed. So it became a it became a game for many years of how many could I have next to my bed at one time, and really taking the time and opening those pages and being with each book and reading what that person had to share about their journey or about their experiences or about some message that they felt so passionate of getting out to the world. And it's come a time in my life after, years of just my own self-work and my own self-practice and consciously choosing every day to fill myself up and grow and transcend a heck of a lot within myself, of obstacles, of insecurities and doubt and things that we all face. After kind of coming through on the other side of much of that, I feel this message that has been itching to come through, that has been just knocking to get through for a while now. And finally, I'm so excited to be able to bring it out on pages, on paper, and really share with the world how I feel about our way of being, about the way of being of myself as a person, and how that really reflects out and radiates out into my inner circle, into my friends and family, and how that ripple spreads because of how I choose to be every single day and how I show up and what does that look like. So it's really it's going to be an incredible work for readers to discover their own way of being as well, and perhaps have a model of possibility and examples and a format to really dig deep within ourselves and discover what is my way of being and how can I let that shine even more authentically to the world around me, so that I can be living free every day, that I can be living open every day, and that I can feel like I'm making a difference, that I'm growing and I'm contributing every day. How can I live at a level 10 in my life? And this way of being is a huge part of that.
I love it. I love the outcomes that you want for others, Brittany, and I love that I'm inspired that you've done the self work and how you filled yourself up first, and you're now sharing this energy, and I love this energy. I love this energy of believing in this way of being, and how you share that it's going to resonate a wave of change individually and collectively, and I think that's so profound. So I want to stay in that for a bit, Brittany. Share with us, how are you using your life to make a difference in the world?
Wow. Well, in the grand scheme of things and as a whole, if I were to go up to the highest point, it's through my way of being, if I were to start there and then maybe get more specific from there. But it's really through my way of being every day, through my energy, through my essence. I realized that a number of years ago, and it became even more apparent to me that how I show up and who I am and my energy, the way that I am with people, what I reflect, what I radiate out in my personality, in my authenticity, can people really see and feel who I am? Because I feel like this is quite true through my own experience, that when someone can feel like they can connect with you at a deep level, because even just meeting you, they almost feel like they know you at a deeper level, because that's how maybe open and authentic you are as an individual. They feel an opening and an ability to be the same way, and it's almost a reflection right back. When you're that way, then all of a sudden the people around us start to open up and reflect that way of being. And so at the highest level, making a difference for me comes from how I am with the people in my life and the people around me, how I show up. And then from there, we can get into more specific areas.
I love it. I love this energy of opening up and speaking with you and watching your work. And I admire how much you're all about connection and you're all about connecting to your authentic self. And I truly believe that, the world is a better place because of your beautiful energy and what you want for others.
Thank you.
There's a quote you share that touches me, and it goes like this: I live to inspire others through a way of being. And, the more and more that I see this work unfolding, it's very inspiring. So, you're keeping yourself in an inspired state consistently, Brittany. How are you reaching out to inspire others around you on a daily basis?
Yes, this is amazing. This is huge because being inspired wasn't something that I just woke up and was all of the time. And I think for all of us in the world that we live in today, we consciously must choose every day to be inspired and feel inspired. And the question is, how can I feel even more inspired right now? What environment can I put myself in? Who can I put myself around to feel and be even more inspired? Because when I'm feeling inspired, I can create, I can give back, I can discover my gifts for the first time in my life and figure out, why am I here? What am I doing? And how can I give this to people? I can feel happiness. I can feel passion. I can feel so many of the most positive emotions that create results in life. Because what I know to be true is how we're feeling on a daily basis is a direct relation to the results that show up. So we are going to bring into our life, things are going to show up into our life, people, experiences that are in alignment with how we're feeling. So if we're feeling really good and we're feeling really inspired on a consistent basis, then guess what? We're going to be, and you know this, Jerry, I know I'm preaching to the choir. You know this more than anybody. You know that when we feel that way, we start bringing in all of the things that we want in our life. We start bringing in all of the best experiences and prosperity and relationships. The life of our dreams starts to, come into fruition. So, and on the opposing side, if we're feeling the opposite of inspired, or if we're not feeling good, and that's what we're vibrating, or that's what we're, sending out on a consistent basis from our emotions, then I've experienced it, and I do, and catch myself when that goes out and things that I don't want start to show up, things that I absolutely don't want start to come around. And that's when I get curious. That's a sign to me. That's when I get really curious, when the things that I don't want start to happen and show up around me. I start to ask, okay, how can I feel even more inspired right now? What can I do? Who can I put myself around? And that's when I start to go listen to some great audio CDs by some of my favorite authors or speakers, or that's when I take a walk outside and, I teach others. I teach my friends and colleagues and close people in my life when I'm talking to them and they're sharing with me about, maybe a situation that they're going through and it doesn't feel good and it's something that they don't want. And my first thing is, let's take a walk. Let's take a walk. Let's go outside. Let's, get in nature and breathe and change our state. Instantly, for me, being in nature is inspiring. And so that's one of the first ways. There are so many ways, but for me, it's walking, it's being in nature, it's listening to some beautiful music. Each of us has to find what it is for us that gives us that inspiration and clarity.
I love it. Those are really great insights and just actually fantastic tips for listeners. I love that you share, Brittany, we must consciously choose to be inspired, and, it's a daily choice. And there's no question you're vibing at whole new levels, and, you're really in tune and resonating out this incredible energy. And I just want to stay in this because you share one of your chapters in your upcoming book, which is called Tune. And, I love how you're like this, this finely tuned human instrument. Maybe just share with listeners, a few tips on how people can continually tune themselves as an instrument over time.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite chapters, actually, of the entire book. So it's amazing that you picked this. Tuning and balancing is something that I started to focus on a few years ago, a handful of years ago, and it really resonated with me. It made so much sense because I love music. And for those of us that are music lovers and how instruments work, and the most perfectly tuned instrument sounds so beautiful and produces the most incredible music, whether it be a piano. And if we think about a piano playing and you hear that beautiful music that's coming from it, when it's tuned perfectly, you hear those notes and the conditioning that had to take place prior to that piano being tuned in order for that artist to come play was a specific conditioning over time to tune those chords, those strings, to the right frequency, to the right, tightness and all of that, so to produce that music. And we as human beings, we are the same way. We are just like a musical instrument being tuned. And I look at that relation. I felt like I was a musical instrument, and my goal in life was to be able to get to the point where I was playing my music perfectly. Whatever that music was, it wasn't someone else's, but it was the music that my instrument was meant to produce, was destined to produce, was designed to flow. And my questions were, how can I tune and balance myself as if I were this musical instrument so that someday I'm producing this beautiful music that totally resonates with me, that is me at my highest level. And we are all the same. We are all meant to produce our own beautiful music as individuals, as beings. And part of the tuning and balancing process is being able to be okay with seeing the things within ourselves that could use improvement. Being okay with bringing out the things that maybe in the past we felt guilt or shame or sadness around, because I know I felt my fair share of all of those emotions in relation to things that I did, ways that I acted, so many things, anger, all of these different things. And being able to go within ourselves, and the tuning and balancing part, that's part of what it is being okay with seeing those things and unafraid to pull them out and look at them and really see how we can grow and learn from those experiences to become better each time. And that's how the instrument is tuned. That's how we as people are tuned. So that chapter is going to get into a lot of specifics, even tools and things that I've done over the years with myself, practices that have helped me tune and balance myself in a way that, helped me really find out what is my music.
I love it. I can listen to you all day, Brittany, and I'm actually looking forward to the not only just diving into your book, A Way of Being, but listening to the audio CD and sharing that with listeners, because it's just such a beautiful energy. And I really love your analogies to a musical instrument. You really simplify these tools and these insights. Brittany, I want to move you a little bit into a message to your team. Your message to your team, to your readers, to your listeners, to your audience, just in general. Like, you share a quote here: "The call is more loud and clear than ever," which I love. Why does the world need everyday difference makers now more than ever? How can your team and all those around you and your friends, everyone, start to kind of embrace that they can be difference makers as well?
Yes, absolutely. This is huge. The call is more loud and clear than ever goes both ways. There's a call on the side of, many individuals in our world today who are calling out for guidance, for assistance, for help, for where do I go? Where do I turn? What's my next thing? And there's a call in that way for guidance. And then there's a call on the other side as well. And that call is for people who are wondering, how can I make a difference? How can I be of service? How can I? And for both of these sides, it is more loud and clear than ever, because the energies of our world are becoming more polarized than ever before. And we see that, we notice that in the media, which I limit myself greatly on watching only the most essential things, reading usually, and updating myself that way versus watching on television. Television is something that I gave up a long time ago, 10 years ago now, since I haven't even had television. And that has been a tremendous contribution to my life, because we are affected. There's this polarization going. In polarization, I mean there's a difference in energies happening, where on one side you have an energy that is becoming very present in the world, and you see it through media, you see it through different outlets, of a lot of self-serving. And the self-serving energy, it really doesn't feel super great. I mean, you definitely know the difference, and we as beings, we as people know the difference between someone who is, resonating a self-serving energy, or resonating a serving to others, or a giving energy that is really giving from who they are. And there's a call happening more than ever for those of us who see that space, who see that polarity happening, who see those differences happening, to be able to step up and say, you know what? I want to be a model of possibility. I want to be someone who is a difference maker, and through my way of being, I may not be so sure of how I'm going to do it yet, but I see the difference of energies that are happening in the world today, and I want to choose to be in service to other people. I don't know how yet. I'm going to figure it out. I want to choose to grow as a person so I can give back, and so I can continue to perpetuate this energy of giving, this energy of service to others. Because when I do it, the person next to me does it. And that wave, that ripple definitely spreads. And that's why right now, more than ever in the world today, we as people who step up and choose to be a difference maker, even in what we may think is a small thing, will be the biggest difference. Because every single piece, every single one of us has the ability to tip the scales. There's scales weighing right now in our world, and each one of us will help tip that scale in the direction of being able to experience the openness, the happiness, the fulfillment, the giving, the love, the caring, the health, the vitality, all of the things that make us feel good to be alive here, when we sit outside and we look at the sunset and we watch the beautiful sunset at the beach, or we watch the sunrise, and we've all experienced this. And I know you love it, Jerry. You love being out and watching those things. And I do too. And I just want to, I would love for all of us to remember that when we do look at that sunrise or that sunset, at how inspired we feel and how good that makes us feel. And that feeling isn't a feeling of what do I get out of this world? What can I get from people thinking about me? That feeling that you get when you look at that sunrise and sunset is how can I give? And those feelings of goodness that we get are what we receive when we give, and we become a difference maker.
I love it. We choose you, Brittany, that's for sure. Brittany, I want to ask you this last question. And, you know, you've had quite a ride, quite a journey, and you've seen ups, you've seen downs, and not everything was easy for you. And in a couple months, I asked you a while back, what do you want your friends and family to say about Brittany Burtz? And I want to leave you with this question now. You know, what will the world say about Brittany Burtz and how she lived her life, knowing that she's inspired the world with this way of being?
Wow. You know, I have an intention and I have a vision that the world would feel that this way of being was just a map, a blueprint, a model of possibility, a way that created an incredible opening for so many people, as it has for myself. I think this way of being is something that it was an opening that was created within myself and realizations, and I would hope and have the vision and intention that it would touch so many lives and make a huge difference in those of us who maybe questioned who we are or what we're doing or how certain things work in the world, but we're able to have clarity and belief. And really, for the first time, I would hope and wish and intend that anyone who experiences this message would be able to believe again, to know, to come back to knowing who they are, and really to begin their journey and make it an incredible one.
It's explosive. Pages 8 and 9, Brittany Burtz from California. It's called A Way of Being, and you're inspiring us all, Brittany, to believe so we can really begin. And I'm absolutely blown away and just in awe of your energy. On behalf of Defyeneurs, everyday people doing extraordinary things, we want to thank you, Brittany, for being a part of this energy and sharing your beautiful gifts with the world, inspiring us all with this way of being. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerry. You have been such an inspiration in your vision for the world, for all of us, for your intentionality, and your vision is so great. And I am truly grateful for that. So thank you so much.